Well, I'm out walking again. I thought I'd best do this intro before I get to 9,999 miles. 4,920 steps. So we've done a few. We've been moseying around, walked up to drop the girls off at nursery. Done a few other bits and bats. God, today's been awful. And I'm really struggling at the minute with guilt. I feel guilty for feeling anxious and depressed. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but I want to do things. The core of me, deep down, wants to be busy. I want to be working. I want to be producing and creating. But I can't do it. It's like I've just got a mental block. Well, that's literally what it is. There's nothing physical. The wife's at work today, the girls are at nursery. It's a lovely day. And I'm sat on the sofa. It's hard to describe if you've never felt like this. It's not that I can't literally get up, but the idea of working and ticking jobs off and keeping the momentum going is just, it feels overwhelming. It's horrible. So, yeah, and then I feel guilty for feeling like this for the next day or two after a bad day. I'm like, you didn't even get anything done. You've wasted your time. You've wasted your day. There's nothing wrong with you. And that's part of the problem, I guess. It's the holding yourself down, struggling to get up and get on with things. And yeah, it's awful. But I know when I am well and in full health, I do like to crack on. I get loads done. I feel like a machine and I'm just battling through work, ticking jobs off. And now I just can't. I can't do it. I'm struggling with allowing myself the freedom to not. I keep kicking my own arse. And I'm not helping me at this point. If I just wrote the day off and said, right, do your most important jobs that can't wait and come back to everything else another day, it's fine. Do an hour or two, get those done and move on. But the nature of working for yourself is there's always things to do. There's always work to be doing. There's always jobs to be on with. So, yeah, I don't know. That's why I came for a walk. One, because I have to. This is what I'm doing. And two, I think, well, if I'm going to do nothing, I might as well be doing something remotely productive. And then after this, I'm going to go home and build a Wendy house because we've bought one for the girls. So it needs some roof doing. I've done most of it yesterday, but it just needs a bit of finishing off. And I just think, look, if you're going to do nothing, do something productive for someone else. So that's the only logic I'm coming round to. And I didn't know I had panic attacks until maybe 3 weeks ago. That's not easy either. I just thought it was stress. I thought when you're walking around Sainsbury's and your chest gets tight and you can't really breathe properly and you're dripping with sweat, I was like, I'm feeling stressed today. And my wife was like, no, that's a panic attack. I was like, I guess, why would you know if you've never experienced that? I mean, I have for the last, I don't know, year or two. Intermittently, maybe like 2 or 3 a month. And I got one of those the other day as well that were, it's awful. You just feel like you're being squeezed. But no, this is my idea of therapy. Is just get all these thoughts out. Share. Too much of YouTube these days is people winning and just all the best bits. It's just highlights of people's lives. And more people struggle than people realise. A lot of people struggle. You could even go as far as say most people struggle. There's always something that's a challenge or that people are dealing with. And like myself, people tend to brush it off and be like, I'm just a bit sad. It's not a big deal. Yeah, but you shouldn't be sad for years on end. And sadness would make sense in context of an event or something happening. You know, a loved one dies or passes away. Yeah, sad and feeling gloomy, not wanting to do anything. I get it, that makes sense. But something in my brain is there's just chemicals that are wrong. You know, there's just something that's amiss. And for some reason, I can't accept that as the reason for feeling like this. Very bizarre, it's hard to explain. But no, it's been challenging us today. But we're out, we're doing a thing. And to be fair, I have done probably an hour and a half to work, which, in the grand scheme of things, is better than nothing. You know, it could have been a full day off and done nothing. So, and I used to laugh about this when I worked in engineering. You'd go to work, you were only paid for your attendance. And that sounds daft, but you clock in at 8 a.m, you clock out at 5, they pay you for the time in between. That's it. And I always thought it was bizarre that it didn't matter what you did. To an extent it did, but there were days that were mega busy, days that were mega quiet. And you just paid for your attendance. Whereas at least at Mergs, I can do a good 4 hours and know full well I've done more than some people do in their full 8-hour workday. So that makes me feel a little more at ease. So yeah, this is just where we're at. Not every day is sunshine and rainbows. Right, well, we might change settings and keep going, because I don't know. Moving on. Well, we're out still. We've done about 7,500 steps. We've just found somewhere nice to perch. Just thought we'd have 10 minutes, sit in, out of everybody's way. There might be a bit of road noise, bit of wind noise, but I'm sure we'll be fine. But no, if anybody's feeling like this, like me, anxious, nervous, stressed, consistently for a while, go get help. And it's funny because there's no affiliate links to the NHS or to your doctor. I'm not on commission. I just know how bad it gets and how much better it gets. It does get better, I promise. I'm living proof. Most people like to start recording and sharing when they're on the up and they're winning. But I just thought, I needed someone to talk to. And now's the time I just need to talk to you guys. It's nice. But yeah, you look back at how bad it's been and you forget how bad it's been. You forget how bad it can be. And there's been times, I say recent history, let's say the last 2 years, where I didn't want to be here, to put it politely. You know, I'd had enough. I was like, nah, maybe this just isn't for me. And, well, I'm glad I am here, put it that way. I'm glad we're still continuing. And yeah, there's some days where, God, if you had a big button and you could just press it and skip, I'd have skipped weeks, months and years. Honestly, I'd have skipped years just to get out of where I were. And the worst bit is that, like I say, that what makes me feel guilty is I'm not in an abusive relationship. I'm not struggling financially. Don't get me wrong, there's no Lamborghinis, but we can afford to eat and buy things we need and want, you know. That's not the end of the world. That's what makes me feel so bad about feeling bad. It's like some sort of negative thoughts inception. I feel bad and then I feel bad for feeling bad and then that just compounds and yeah, it's awful. But no, it turns out help helps. You just need to go speak to someone. And bear this in mind. I think a lot of people go to see their doctor, they go speak to a medical professional and they don't get the response they want on the first time. If you expect that, then you'll be much better off. You might not get the person you want that can help, that cares, that resonates with you on your level. You might not get them straight away. Honestly, it's worth sticking it out. You know, just keep trying. Do your research, do some learning. As well, if you can go to your doctor
with an idea of how they can help you, sometimes a push in the right direction really goes a long way. I mean, I'm very, very fortunate. My wife's a mental health nurse, and she knows about this. She knows, what things can help, what tablets can help, what can take the edge off, what's good for stress and, short-term and long-term stuff. So I feel very fortunate in that way. But it turns out, just go speak to your doctor. I mean, I have a regular phone call now every 4 weeks with my doctor, who changes medication or ups things and lowers things, and we just tinker with it over time to try and get me well. And she's great. She's absolutely great. And I get excited about our phone calls. So people think, oh, I've got to speak to the doctors. Yeah, but if every time you do, you just feel a little bit better, then you start doing the Pavlov's dog thing, You're like, oh, I've got a phone call. This is the start of my next round of treatment, shall we say, and things just keep improving. So, yeah, you just need to find the right person. But, yeah, I look back and, like I say, it's hard to remember how you felt when it was bad. But compared to now, it's absolutely worlds apart. It even surprises me sometimes, the fact that it's hard to comprehend feeling so bad that you don't want to be here. It's bonkers. But I get it. I've never made any progress towards that at all. Not even a thing. But it feels like a comforting thought sometimes, being like, I can put all this to rest. Which is... It's horrific, isn't it, really? It's horrific. But, yeah, like I say, I just feel really fortunate that I'm being helped. Because you can be helped. We can all get help. We live in 2024. We're doing some cool shit these days. There's people messing about in space, and the meds that we've got, and just things have never been better. There's never been a better time to need help with literally any medical condition. Tomorrow we know more about literally everything than we do today. That's just huge. So yeah, if you're feeling like me, go speak to someone. Just do it. And don't do that stupid thing that I did for years, where I'm like, oh no, it's okay, I'll get through this. You won't. You might. I hope you do. But it's not the right way to do it, in my opinion, I don't think I'd be doing as I am without the help and support. Wherever I'm at now, it'd just be worse. So, yeah, bear that in mind, that people can help you. There's people out there that want to help you. And that's cool. And at the same time, there's people out there, in your circles, and if they're not out to help you, just sack them off. Just call it a day. It doesn't matter. Just get on with you. Don't forget, you're living this life for you, not for anyone else. Yeah, it's important when you've got kids and things like that. And that was one of the biggest factors to reset me, thinking, how would mummy ever explain daddy to my little girls if daddy weren't around? It's that used to have me in tears constantly, because it's awful. So yeah, go get help. Like I said, this is not a sponsored segment by your doctor, but I just know how much this helps. You spend so much time watching people wins and all this cool stuff, and sometimes somebody just needs to tell you that, look, I'm struggling too, and if you are, it's okay, but you might not get through this on your own, and it's worth getting through, because we're only here once. We get like 80 years, and that's on average, which means for everyone that goes at 60, there's someone else that goes at 80, or if the average is 80, it's like 90, 70, and you just never know when that time's up. So try and make the most of it, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to stay positive. It doesn't mean I am always positive, and there's things that when I feel like this now that are taken for granted. Yeah, of course. I mean, like I say as well, I feel very fortunate that I work for myself, that I can do this on a Wednesday afternoon at 2:36. I feel very fortunate in that way. Anyway, let's get on with this walk. Let's get some steps banged out. We've got 7,500, another couple of thousand steps. Lovely weather. It's funny as well, like these headphones that I've got. I've not used them once on a walk. These are just like some sort of mic holder for me now. I like the silence. It turns out that's big for me as well. I just like hearing nothing. I ride a motorbike, and one of the few things I really enjoy at the minute is just riding that bike. Just going out for an hour or 2 or 3 and just riding. No noise, no music, just the exhaust. Just being in the middle of nowhere. I come out to places like this, you know, up on those hills and all round about. This is just my favourite place to be at the minute, and I wouldn't even say I've ever been one with nature. It's not really been my thing. But I guess you go through different stages in life, don't you, where you appreciate different things. So, you know, me 10 years ago, I'd be quite happy in a dark bedroom on Xbox. But today, there's nowhere I'd rather be than sat on a rock above a bus stop, just watching the world go by. It's bizarre, isn't it, how things change? But, yeah, this is life. So I try and just make the most of the little things. Right, I'm going to just have another 2 minutes and then we're on the way. So let's keep going.
Right, mission accomplished. Nearly missed it for like the 3rd day on the trot, but I guess that's not what it's about, is it, the 10,000? It's about getting out and doing some walking. So it's working out at about 50 minutes to an hour a day, which compared to nothing is a lot. I mean, I've not even been going to the gym. I've been going to the gym 5 days a week for 13 years, until the last 1 to 2 years. And even that's my favourite thing to do. And even that doesn't sound appealing. In fact, it sounds like a pain, so I don't do it. And yeah, so 45 minutes to an hour's walking every day beats nothing. So that's a win. Anyway, that's today complete for our walking. And go home now, have a sit down, have some water, electrolytes, bite to eat. And then it's not long till I pick the girls up, another hour and a half. Go get the little munchkins and bring them home for a wrestle. So, if anybody else is interested in anything else I do, I live a really weird life of, I don't know, when you work for yourself and you just do unusual, uncommon things. So, if anybody's ever got any interest in just a day in the life or more broad vlogs, leave a comment, let me know. And also, we've got plans for when the 30 days of walking are up. I think I'm going to start running. I think so. I think I'm going to try. I've never been a runner, never been good at running. I think it's just because my body weight's too high. I mean, I started off about a week ago at 247 pounds. So I don't know what that is, about 112 kilos. And that's just a lot of weight on your little legs. So, but I'd like to be good at running. I'd like to just go out and run 5k. Oh, that sounds ace. So we might do a bit of a journey to some running. But we're only 8 days in. We need to get this walking cracked first and add a bit of fitness and exercise back to my life. So, right, onwards. Have a lovely day and goodbye.